Before the age of 8, I was looked at sexually by grown men who were trying to determine what kind of wife I might make. I wasn't allowed to show my knees because catching a male's attention would be a mistake. My whole life, I was called a slut, a hoe, a whore, from guys and girls alike, for simply and unintentionally catching a man's eye, or for the sexual experiences that I never asked for, but were labeled consensual by the guy. There have been too many catcalls, ass grabs, objectifying comments and jokes to even possibly count. They've all been socially accepted, normalized, and justified. There were years of promiscuity in my early 20s, because how was I to believe that my body actually belonged to me? I never saw my worth. It was never demonstrated to me. My first French kiss, age 13, I was locked in a room and told I couldn't leave until he shoved his tongue down my throat. The first time I touched a penis, age 12, it was shoved in my face as I was saying no, pushing him away, and trying not to vomit from the alcohol. Yes, I had a dick in my mouth before a boy's tongue. The first time I was ever fingered, age 14, he was 17, put his hands down my pants, and I asked him to stop. I'm not ready. It's okay. I love you. I'll go slow. Don't you trust me? And he proceeded to have his way with me. The second person who ever had sex with me did so after I repeatedly said no. I thought about resisting him physically, but I was afraid of getting hurt. This wasn't the last time he tried to do this to me, only the second time I fought him off. And it was never talked about, never apologized for, just simply brushed off. Once I had to push my best friend off of my body because he was so insistent in trying to convince me. It wasn't until I kicked, punched, bit, scratched that he finally let me be. There's a video of me making love to my first love that was filmed by his friends secretly. Then there's the time I got toxic shock syndrome because a friend forced himself inside of me, pushing the tampon in so far that I thought it had been taken out. I didn't realize it was still there until I got so sick and so scared. I never told anyone because I felt embarrassed. I felt responsible. I let myself get too drunk to fight him off. I shouldn't have let that happen. What in the world did I cause? Recently, a friend that I love so dearly pushed himself on me after I explained so clearly that I wanted friendship only. The first time I said no, I'm not interested. I thought that was clear. The 10th time, I had to push him off because he simply didn't hear. I told a male friend about this experience, and the response I received was, "I'm sure you let him on." This is the mentality that goes on. This is the mentality that our society breeds. It's always a woman's fault, and the man simply has needs. I spent years afraid to share my truth, to talk about this abuse, saying and believing that it's not that bad. It could be way worse. My story isn't as important as hers. People will think I'm exaggerating, looking for attention, being dramatic, being weak or helpless. I refused to be a victim, so I took the responsibility. And in the meantime, the perpetrators remain free. Silence is no longer an option. This is too fucked up and too important to tread lightly and continue to proceed with caution. We need to be bold. We need to be loud. We need to stand up, speak up together, and have it be heard, have it be seen and known. We as a society have spent way too long turning the other cheek, telling the victim, it's okay, just let it be. Meanwhile, letting the perpetrator live without any responsibility. And this stops now. This stops with me. It stops with you. And it starts by us speaking up and saying, me too.